Hey children, welcome to today's session. So to write the electronic configuration of the elements having more than one electron, we have to follow a set of rules or principles. So there are three rules which we need to follow to write the electronic configuration of any element. What are they? One is Pauli exclusion principle, which we have already done in the previous class. The next one, Hofbauer principle, and the third rule it is Hund's rule. So what is Pauli exclusion principle? According to this principle, no two electrons will have all four quantum numbers same. Now for example, if the first three quantum numbers are same, the principal quantum number, angular momentum quantum number and magnetic quantum number, even if these three are same for any two electrons, the fourth quantum number, that is spin quantum number, will be different. So it will be one electron will have plus half and the other electron will have minus half in any orbital. Now today let us learn about Hofbauer principle. So what does this principle explain about? Now first thing, before we proceed with the definition of it, you should know how to calculate the number of electrons present in a shell. In any shell, what is the number of electrons? How do we know how many electrons are present in a particular shell where n is 1 or n is 2 or n is 3? So there is a formula to calculate the number of electrons present in any shell. So what is it? 2n square, where n is principal quantum number. Now for the first shell, principal quantum number is 1. So 1 square. So total how much you will get? It is 2. For the first shell, there are only 2 electrons. Now in the second shell, where the quantum number is 2, 2 into 2 square. So how many total you will get? 4 2s are 8 electrons. In the third shell, where the principal quantum number is 3, 3 square into 2. So 3 3s are 9, 9 2s are 18. So this is how you can calculate the total number of electrons present in a shell. So you have to apply this formula 2n square, where n is principal quantum number. Now how many electrons are present in the subshells? Now where you have L values, where L is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. So the formula for this is 2 into 2L plus 1. 2 into 2L plus 1. For example, if L is 0, 2 into 0 plus 1. So that will be equal to 2. So when L is equals to 0, in the subshell L or S, we have only 2 electrons. So take for example one more L value where L is 1. 2 into 2 1s are plus 1. So this is 2 plus 1 3. 3 2s are 6. So when L value is 1, which corresponds to P subshell, the total number of electrons present in P is 6. So if you apply this formula, you will also get for D 10 electrons and for F 14. Now how are these electrons occupied in the orbitals? How are they occupied? So always electron occupies the orbital which is having least energy. So this is how the configuration is built up. Hofbauer, the very word means building up. Hofbauer means building up. How does this electronic configuration it is built up? It is built up by taking the orbitals having least energy. So to know which orbital has least energy, Moeller proposed a chart or a diagram. You have to follow this diagram to know which orbital has least energy. So here if you look at, the electrons will first go to 1s. If 1s is filled, then the electrons will go to 2s. If this is filled with 2 electrons, so it's not empty, totally occupied, then the electron moves to 2s, then to 2p, then to 3s. So this way in a diagonal way it goes 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, then 4f, 4d, 5p, 6s, 5f, 5d, 6p, 7s, 6f, 6d, 7p, 8s. So this is the increasing order of the energy levels of the orbitals. So how long the filling takes place? How long we can fill the electrons in these orbitals? Till we get the atomic number. And there are two general rules to be followed to know which orbital is having least energy. So what are these two rules? One is n plus 1. You have to calculate n plus L value to know the orbital's energy level. So whichever orbital has n plus L value least, that is having the lower energy. Now n plus L value for 1s, what is it? Let us see. 1s, 1 plus 0. So it is only 1. So this is the orbital having least energy. Now take for example any other 3p. 3p means when you take, this is for 1s. If you take 3p orbital, what is the principal quantum number of 3p orbital? N is 3. What is L value for p? It is 1. So it is 4. So the value of n plus L value for 3p is 4, whereas for 1s it is only 1. So 1s has lower energy than 3p. That is how we can understand. Now you may get, suppose if n plus L value is same for any two orbitals. If it is same, what do we do? So I will give you an example here. Let us take two orbitals, 3s. We can take 3s and 2p orbitals. Okay. Let us take 3s and 3p and we will calculate the n plus L values. Now for 3s, what is the n plus L value? What is the n plus L value? It is 3 plus 0. So principal quantum number is 3, azimuthal quantum number is 0. So it is equals to 3. Okay. Now take for example 2p orbital. 2p orbital. Here 2 is the principal quantum number and p value is 1. So it is 3. So both these orbitals are having same n plus L value. I have taken here n plus L value, children. N plus L value. Okay, so here both are same. Then which one will have least energy? Then you have to go by principal quantum number. So wherever principal quantum number is less, so that particular orbital will have lower energy. So when compared to 3s, 2p will have lower energy because the principal quantum number is 2. Here it is 3. So these two general rules you have to apply in building up the configuration. So what are these two? First rule is you have to take n plus L value. So the orbital having n plus L value, whichever is having the least value, that will be occupied first. In case if n plus L value, if they are same for two orbitals, then you have to take the least n value and the electron will occupy the orbital having least n value. So these two rules you have to remember. Now this is how we can write the configuration. For example, now let us take some elements. Hydrogen with atomic number 1, helium atomic number 2, lithium it is 3, beryllium 4, boron 5, 6, carbon, nitrogen 7 and oxygen 8. So these are the atomic numbers. So if you know the atomic number of any element, you can write the configuration. Now how did we write here? See for example hydrogen, the configuration is 1s1. Helium, it is 1s2. 2, because maximum how many you can accommodate, it should be equal to the atomic number, not beyond atomic number. You cannot fill the shells beyond atomic number. So this total, whichever you are putting it here, that should match with the atomic number. Now helium has 2 electrons, so 1s2. Lithium has 3, so 1s2, 2s1. And beryllium 1s2, 2s2. Boron 1s2, 2s2, 2p1 because 5 is the atomic number. Now carbon 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 and so on. So here what you have to remember, S can take only maximum 2 electrons, not beyond 2. You cannot show S3 or S4. Either it will have 1 or 2, that's it. So maximum S orbital can take in only 2 electrons. Now coming to p orbitals, p orbital, maximum how many electrons p orbital can take in? Maximum 6. And d orbital can take in total 10. F orbital can take in total 14 electrons, right? So this is what you have to remember well when you are building up the configuration. Okay, now look at the configuration here. Hydrogen has 1, helium 2, lithium 1s is filled with 2 electrons. So there is no place left in the 1s. So what will happen? The third electron will go to 2s orbital. Now in case of beryllium, so there is, it is half filled here. So what happens in case of beryllium? The fourth electron will go to 2s only. Now coming to boron, 1s is filled, even 2s is filled. So where will the fifth electron go? Where will it go? It will go to p orbital. So you can see here there are 3 orbitals in p subshell. There are 3 orbitals. So the fifth electron will go to the first orbital of the p subshell. Now in case of carbon, now what is the atomic number of carbon? 6. So how did I write the configuration here? 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. So here p is having 2 electrons. Now the question is, now 1 electron already we have filled in the first orbital. So there is 1 more electron in p. Now the doubt is whether that electron will go to the first orbital, it gets paired up with this, or will it go to the next orbital. So to answer this question, there is one more rule which we have to apply, that is Hund's rule. Okay, so according to Hund's rule, when all the orbitals are half filled, then only pairing takes place. So I'll just give you an example here. When you travel in a bus, most of you prefer to sit near the window. You like to sit near the window, taking window seat. Now, if all the window seats are occupied, you will just search for a window seat. If it is available, happily you will go and sit there. But if all the window seats are occupied in the bus, what do? You have to go and sit beside someone. So similarly, even electrons prefer empty orbitals first. So they will go to empty orbitals. If all the empty orbitals are half filled, then only pairing takes place. So here the 6th electron in the carbon, it will go to the next orbital, not to this orbital, children. So with the same spin, parallel spin, here you can see anti-parallel spins in both this. So with the parallel spins, it goes to the next orbital but not to the first orbital of the p subshell. Now next take for example nitrogen. So how do we write the configuration? 1s is filled with 2, 2s is filled with 2 electrons. Now there are 3 in the p orbital. There are 3 electrons in the p orbital. So what happens? Here 1 electron goes, and again in the second orbital, the second one, and the third orbital. What did we notice here? All the 3 orbitals are singly occupied. They are half filled. Now coming to oxygen, what is its atomic number? 8. 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. So here 1s is filled with 2 electrons, 2s is filled with 2 electrons, so both are occupied. Next electrons will go to p subshell. So here at first they will occupy singly, half filled there. Now count the electrons: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what is the atomic number? 8. So one more electron is there here in p, 4. So now the 4th electron will go and pair with the first electron in the p orbital. Now pairing takes place. So according to Hund's rule, only when the orbitals are half filled, then pairing takes place. So this is another rule which you have to remember. So with this we have completed this unit structure of atom, and you need to learn the atomic numbers of first 20 elements, and you have to write the configuration for the first 20 elements. Thank you.